Alrighty. What? Oh.
No.
No, that's not wiping off. That's part of you.
No, what happened? I guess I have my hand
ain't
like,
coming off.
and then like when you go like this, it's all pushed to the side.
Yeah. You think you're groovy? That's not paint.
Yeah, that's not paint. That's 3 children and a business, and
Please don't say that. That's 3 children.
that's what happens
all
with
right.
3 kids. You don't hear the madness?
No,
Barn
I don't.
animals. Barn animals. That's what they are. However, what episode is this?
39.
Number 39. So statistically speaking, we have made it. We have survived.
Something like that. All
Let's
right.
get coffee going.
I want to get some coffee going. But
yeah, well. Yeah. We are back. Well,
okay, so
Mhm.
some I guess start with some new things. It's been a minute. We had coverings, so we didn't record there. Last week just didn't work out. So we're back. We're ready to go. We're going to be back on our normal schedule. I'm going to start getting more people in and kind of announcing our schedules ahead of time. So next thing, what's new? A lot has changed since the last episode.
Yes.
Business-wise. Let's see, business-wise, money-wise. So there's a little bit of update on your end. I know you've had a lot of change.
Well, I guess the biggest change on my end is overworked.
He's a contractor now. Boo.
Yay. I'm going to be an actual contractor instead of an installer. Yay. But yes,
well,
no, we are.
I don't know.
I am actively
installer, but a contractor on the side. There you go.
Right. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I guess I'm in that weird transition point that Heavy was at.
That love-hate relationship.
Yeah, it's like you love the fact that you're no longer installing, but it's also terrifying that you're no longer installing because it's like you're handing it over to somebody else, right?
Your baby, your reputation.
You're putting that responsibility on somebody else. But I don't know. It's again, I'm not there yet. I'm trying out. I'm actually going to try them out tomorrow.
Now, would you say you're having a hard time isolating yourself from the business?
Right. Because it's hard to find people that want to subs. That's the issue. Around my area, most want to be leads. They don't want to be subs.
Okay. Have you ventured into, a W-2?
Not yet.
People in and hiring them, even if you got to train them.
Right. And what happens every time I put a post up for a helper?
Someone reaches out to hire you.
That. Ironically enough, and it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's the business name, but it's always females. And not that I have anything wrong against females. It's just that
that'd work out for your business model though. Like, these are my kids. And I'm like, they're 30 and they're like, aren't you like 35? And like, you shut up.
You shut your mouth. We start young down south. No. And so yeah, no, but it's just that, and also the issue I have is most of them are like an hour away, an hour and a half away. Locally,
where there's Wi-Fi.
There's really no. So it's like a blessing and a curse, right? So it's the blessing because nobody's in the area, right? There's not that many competition, if you will. But at the same token, because of that, there's nobody in the area that wants to do this stuff.
Hey, Jabber John, what's up?
So that's the issue that I'm finding, and I don't mind training somebody. I mean, I'm not to say that I'm a master. I really hate that. That term, word. That term bothers me because there's no such thing. That you could be 50 years in the business. I don't want to be that guy too. That that reel that I posted
for 25 years.
I got 30 years. Yeah. Like, if you hear somebody say that, run away. It is a true fact. And what's funny is I get so much flack from that video, but they don't seem to understand what the meaning is. It's like, I'm not saying that you should turn somebody down that has 30 years experience. But the ones that have good experience don't have to walk around telling you they have good experience. Yeah. They just their work. But you got the guys that come out right off the gate. I've been doing this for 30 years, Sonny. Like, odds are you're doing things wrong, and
So,
you're proving yourself. Why?
so we'll kind of revert back to your hiring thing. I mean, if your people are far away, have you thought about, as bad as it's going to sound, maybe nabbing a high schooler fresh out?
Um, the beauty of living in a good
Hey,
neighborhood.
let me see your report card. B? Nah, hell no. Get out of here. I need a
Yeah,
D student.
well, that's the thing. Like, they're so obviously you know where I live, right? It's a nice area. You really think them high school kids is gonna be putting their hands on dirt?
I mean, you get the right one. I mean, especially someone like us, where we didn't really come from money, so
Yeah, I mean that's
seen
the
more than
funny
we've
part
ever
is
seen.
like those kids, most of the kids in our area are either gonna be, probably in the business of somebody. Most of them have businesses. Most of them have farms, so they're already farm hands way before they even get into the trades. You know what I
Too
mean?
rough
Like,
for tile. No,
yeah, oh yeah, it's like you
I
can't
need you to
throw
just
like
stand
a
on the edge of
bale
this
of
tile, and
hay.
they're just like,
What grit do you want? 120? Yeah, but like that's the issue that I'm finding. I don't know. I'm trying this guy out. He I don't know if he's even watching this or not, but he's um he's from where I'm from in South America. Actually, he's like a town over from where I'm from, which is weird. Because I asked him, I was like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, I'm from this area." I'm like, "Cool. I used to get ice cream in that area. Like, I know exactly where you're from." And he's also getting into business by himself. He told me his whole story. He used to work in the city, commercial level, thousands and thousands of square feet of tile, and he just got tired of doing that. He was like, "I want to do my own thing," and it's slowly but steady. He's learning a lot, obviously, and because I guess he's solo and like doesn't have like us a dynamic duo or something to help him regulate what he's doing.
mhm.
He's learning a lot of the hard mistakes, like contracts, for example. He's learning that one currently, where it's like you got to have that on paper, and also change orders. He was like, "Yeah, I had to, kind of pack things up because she ran out of money because it was change order after change order." So I was like, "Well, did you have her sign it before you started the work?" It's like, "No." I was like, "Well, there's
They're
that."
pretty much doing
But
work on a handshake.
yeah, exactly. And like, I could tell that the guy wants to learn. Like, he wants to learn. He's eager to learn, and we'll see how his speed is. If he's a detail oriented individual, or is he a production level dude where he's just like chop him and get him out.
Snap them
You
and
know?
slap them.
Yeah, exactly. Snap him and slap him. Just go. Like, which is nothing wrong with that. You can be a production level tile installer, if you will, but you cannot. I don't see you being able to charge custom prices.
So you're
You
not
know,
even. I mean, it sounds like you can't even get to the point of trying to isolate the business and yourself from it because you can't get the work to even like dabble in it, if you will, or get the
no,
workers to dabble in it.
no, and like I'm testing out a plumber because even though myself is a plumber, it would be nice to be able to. The bottom line is I'm tired and I need to step
Step
away
away
from
if
it.
you need when you want to,
Right,
and
like
when you
if
need
in
to,
an
and
event
not
like
hate your
they
job and need to try to get away.
right, if they don't show up, I'm ready to go. So that I guess that's the beauty of it too, right? Because like we said before, most business owners don't know the business. They know
Hmm.
how to run it. They just don't know how to do it.
Hmm.
Most of them, right? And us having the availability, like, hey, I got to jump in and do something, kind of puts you in an advantage because you're not relying on sub upon sub upon sub, and also you're able to know what's happening. Like you're aware. Like you walk in, you're like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Rip that out. Like, so I guess that's the advantage. But I'm at the point where I have to push hard this year. That was one of my goals. I want to start either subbing or hiring.
Hmm.
But in order to hire, you need more work. In order to get more work, you need to stay away from work. So,
Now, do you think it's more, I guess, beneficial for you to, what would be more beneficial for you to sub it out or to hire somebody? It's kind of like a double-edged sword. If you're hiring somebody, they might not know as much. If they're subbed out, they might know what they're doing, but the prices might be higher, or
Um,
you have to worry about them running off.
I think right now, I think the way I'm going to approach it is I'm going to sub first, where it allows me to step away from the business so that I can focus more on leads. And then once the leads get to a point, then I'm going to start hiring somebody and then do the transition from, subbing to actually having a W-2 employee, one or two at least.
Okay.
And, but that's like, I guess that's the way, because in order for me to bring, like, I want to bring a helper right now or apprentice, if you will. But nobody, first they want to get paid a lot of money, which I don't blame them. But at the same token, you're kind of entering at zero. Like, where's the value in that money? So it's a weird spot to be in, and I can sympathize because I was there at one point. Like, I wanted the most amount of money, but yet I couldn't do anything. So I guess that's my approach. Sub it out till I can get enough of a break in between where I can step away and get more work, and then slowly introduce a helper, which will eventually become the lead, and then do the swap over.
So essentially, just and I guess we talked about this before, is like having a self-sufficient machine, if you will, where again,
mean,
if you're to step away from your business, would your business survive?
Ultimately, I think that should be everybody's goal.
I'm lagging.
Where
that's nice.
You can step away from the business. Like, say you have a family emergency, or you have to you need to put some, like, around the world music while you're doing it,
or just go on vacation.
Right. Like, I want to be able to do that because, I mean, if you look at what do you call that? If you are not able to step away from your business, you don't have a business, you have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it's a hard statement to swallow because that's our pride, right? We have a business. No, you don't. A business.
I kind of joke at it because when people, at least in my area, ask me, it's like, "Oh, so you work for yourself? You make your own hours?" Or like something like that. I'm kind of a slave to my own company right now, but I'm doing good. I'm building. I'm still in the building phases. So until it flops, I'm still building.
And that's the irony. Like, most people that leave jobs, because right now Instagram is making entrepreneurship seem sexy. Like, it's appealing. Like, I'm going to be my own boss. I'll call my own hours.
It's just not for the week.
If they only knew, right?
The money
And then,
is appealing.
well, the money, and also it gives you the idea that you have control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do have control, but in life, there's always a trade-off. You get full control, but you lose your freedom completely, because now you're, like you said, a slave to your company. But entrepreneurship, I feel, is the journey of letting go of all your control to gain your freedom back, which is through delegation, obviously. But the problem is maybe it's just my area. To hire an actual, just purely tile install. It's weird because I'm not a tile company per se, like pure tile, because most people are like, oh, okay, you hire a tile guy, right? But if we're in the bathroom renovation, it's like carpenter, tile guy, demolition guy. There's so many titles, so it's kind of hard to just pinpoint somebody to one trade.
Well, and I think it's because I've made that mistake too, where like my company is tile based. I do more than just tile, but I specialize in tile. But I knew I wanted to do kitchens and bathroom. And where do you mainly find tile in a house? Kitchens and bathrooms. So that was kind of like me optimizing my business name for the work that I primarily do and I specialize in. That being said, has it come back to bite me now? Because people, they're like, do we need to get cabinets? I was like, no, I'm a cabinet distributor. And then, it's like, oh, well, Tile Concepts does cabinets. I'm still a tile company.
And yeah, I mean, we go back to my identity crisis, right? I get good feedback, and I'm also slightly superstitious, if you will. Like, there's been times where I'm like, I'm just gonna change it, and then my wife is like, just remember, everything's going good, and things go sour, you're gonna blame yourself for it. Like you did this. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep the name for now. I thought about abbreviating it, just D&D creations, and then the creations part too. Like, kind of sounds like somebody who sells tumblers.
Like Etsy shop.
Yeah, like an Etsy shop. Like it should have been construction, D&D construction. And I mean, I could always change it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's my joy. What about you? What do you got? I know you've since coverings a lot has happened.
Yes. So, I mean, as you know, I took Isaac with me, which is it's going to pretty much become my lead installer. Same situation where I'm trying to put in motion that if I need to step away from the company or make the company more self-sufficient. So I've hired Isaac. Now, most of the time, me and him are working side by side, just because it's more efficient that way. That's always nice to have someone to talk to while you're working. So
Aside from you.
Yeah, aside from myself, I talk to myself a lot, but then the homeowners get a little wigged out. But we went to coverings. He was able to experience like the whole, if you will, social media side. It's like expedited like side. So that's kind of like how when I met you, JC Tal, all the guys at the coverings house last year, we went to, that kind of like propelled me into the social media and the tool world and all these companies. So he got to experience all that. He got to meet some influencers, if you will, and it pumped him up actually. And it was like a good motivational thing for him. So he's like, oh yeah, he got back and he was like, we got to hit something hard. He was like, he started like talking business with me. He was like, we want to get this going. He's like, I want to do something quality. I want to, he doesn't want to do the subway tile. He wants to do something new. He wants to do something like unique. And seeing all the tiles at coverings kind of just opened him up a little bit more. So now we're ready. We're pushed. We're ready to go. He's solely works for me now full time. So we are running and gunning. Got to keep him busy. And other than that, we just kind of exploring new options, potentially working with a builder I met with today, which is a funny story. I'll tell you about that one.
Now, how did he, with coverings, did he get to see the Chinese side?
Yes.
What did he think of that?
So it wasn't as like it was last year. Now the Chinese tile distributors, the ones in the back that nobody talks to, they kept trying to get my number. They're like hassling me like a hobo. Like they're just like, hey, you got $1? Hey, can I scan your thing? And I ended up giving them a fake name and a fake email.
So which is like,
but the tools and stuff, you saw the polishing pads and the grinder blades.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's nobody talks about that section. If you notice in coverings, like nobody in the social media world wants to expose that backside. Like they hide it. Like, oh, this is where all our tools come from.
Part of that is, at least from the installer side, you already know that all the installers tend to linger more towards the tool booth, talking with those companies. We know those companies. Everybody that we know is there. So we just kind of congregate there, screw around with the tools and, just wait until we go to our events for the day.
Yeah.
So
because that's my observation, I guess, from us going that time, and then this time I didn't get to go, but I noticed that nobody ever even showcases that in like a slight video or a picture. But yet every single installation that we do, we use those tools. Different branding, of course.
Depends. I mean, once you think about it, it's
which stickers slapped on it, but
I mean, once you think about it, it's a generic version of the tools that we use. So like, you're not going to see anybody over there flexing Great Value / Walmart brand stuff, right? It's the same thing. It comes out of the same factory. It's literally the exact same product. It just doesn't have the name associated with it. So no one's going to go and boast that if you will, generic section.
Well, not boast, but like I feel like it should get a little bit of
Groovy said he hit up the Chinese section for some cheap stuff. Dude, we got some stuff too. I think they gave us some polishing pads because they're like, we're not going to ship this back. This thing costs us like $2 manufactured. They just gave it to us.
So I just feel like it should have been, at least from us installers, like highlight that a little bit, because it takes everybody that comes into the tower like, yeah, these are the best blades. You could never buy any other blades. You only buy these. And then you come to find out they all come from the same guy. Like, and then it's like, I don't know.
What I've also noticed there
Smoke and mirrors.
is of course the language barrier. So most of the people that are talking with them speak the language, but they go up there, they buy the stuff wholesale, and they private label it and sell it here in the States. So it's kind of like they speak
Mhm.
English, but it's very, very little. And you got to speak a little bit slower to them. And of course, I'm American, so I only speak one language because that's just the way this country works.
Boy.
Uh, we're like the only country that's not bilingual, for the
We
most
only
part.
speak America.
I only speak American. No,
Yeah,
but no,
okay.
I couldn't really. It was hard to communicate with them. So
Yeah, no.
there is that
It's
aspect of where you got like Ruby, all the guys from Italy. They got an accent, but their English is they're able to communicate and hold a conversation with you.
yeah, no, I like that. I was interested. Like that was like for me was a eye opener. Like I went back there. I'm like, wait, why are these wall boards green back here? Why are these blades yellow? Why are these cones yellow? You know what I mean? And I was like,
And
oh,
and you find some good tools back there. Not a
you
lot of
do.
people went back there, but there's a company called PowerTech that was back there, and they had a really nice snap cutter, and it was like I'm gonna say monolith style because I'm a monolith guy. It has that beam up top where you get that support, and in my opinion, is infinitely better than like a Ruby cutter. I'm sorry, Ruby. I make the worst cuts with Ruby cutters. Those tubular cutters, they don't work for me. So,
I don't
PowerTech
think
back
that'll
there,
work
they
on.
had a really nice cutter that was prototyped.
Yeah, no, the Ruby cutters. Even when we went to coverings and I tested them, the unfortunately the tubes
They
flex.
flex.
Right,
Yep.
and most of the top dog cutters, if you will, like you got Sigma, Monolith, they all have the beam because structurally it's going to hold more weight.
Yep.
Yes, the tubes are lighter and probably more affordable, but still, it's I don't know. I like the beam better. Oh, and then I tried out the Tyler snap cutter that I got, the 40 whatever the
Oh
hell it
yeah,
is,
and they switched
42.
over to the beam system too because they used to have a tubular setup.
Yes, the tubular. Well, not a tubular setup. They used to have the I beam setup. It wasn't a flat stock. It was the I beam, but it still flexed because
The
it
one that
was
you had, the 4-footer, I thought that was the tubular one.
no,
Or
it
was
was
it
an I
3-footer?
beam,
Oh, that's right. But it was, yeah, I remember that because it seemed like if you went in the middle, you can crank that handle almost all the way down to the beam, and it
and it
still didn't
wouldn't
have
do
like
anything.
crazy tension. Yeah, it was
Right,
like
right,
self
yeah. No,
tensioning.
so that was the only thing. But now with this new one that Tyler sent me, was I was impressed. Number one, I ran it and it snapped without me having to snap it, if you will. So I was like,
Mm. See,
that's
I don't like that, but as long as it snaps clean, oops.
but I don't know if it was me just putting too much pressure on it. So, first time I was so used to their I beam that remember I used to have to like put some weight on it.
And you always, it's like the Ruby one. You have to let up all the way at the end, or else you're way too torqued. And I
Right.
failed that on the Ruby challenge, like Misha's Ruby challenge, because it seems like at least I felt like I let up a lot, but right when I got to the end, of course, where it's more supported, I mean that thing broke through the tile on the glazing like it was nothing, and it just cracked all the way off and all weird. So
Right. So
that's a flaw
that
to me.
I think that's what happened. I have a video of that where I guess I was so used to the old I beam that I put so much weight that, like you said, once you get to the end, it cranks down because it's closer to the support point that it broke the tile, but it broke it evenly. Obviously, you still have to clean it because even with any snap cutter, you get those little bumps on the
Hmm.
back. And but it's nice, beefy. The only downside, I guess I should say, is the pads. The additional pads, support pads on the side. Um,
Oh, hmm.
they only come with two, but they only hold like the front, and then I had to use the the measuring tape trick on the side that I wanted to keep. You put it under, and it's the Monolith lift. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Um,
the Stanley tape. It's perfect for
yeah,
that.
perfect. So I did that, but the cutter worked great. The wheels is clutch because moving that thing around it's a big cutter, man, like obnoxiously big, and but it's a good cutter. I'll give them that. Way better than what with the one that you and I were messing around with those planks. Way
Mhm.
better, like 10 times better. Just clean snaps. The only nuisance that I find too is but then again, that's because I'm so used to the kind of like the monolith is the self retracting pads. You know
Oh, the
the
spring-loaded plates.
no, not the plates. The
You talking about
what
the
do you
little
call
lifter
that?
when you lift the bar up? Those little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you have to. So with the Tyler, you have to have halfway down for the magnets to stick. Like if you have the handle all the way up, they won't stick. So you have to like put it halfway down, stick it,
Mhm.
run it, lift it up a little bit. But now I got used to
Got
it
the
that where
motion.
like I do a quick like snap and it just clicks back up. So but that's the only I guess complaint that I have with it. Really? That
Okay.
and it's heavy as hell. Like cast heavy. So
Well, at least it's sturdy.
it's sturdy. It didn't bend on me. This was thick tile. This was I want to say 3/8, maybe a little bit bigger. It's pretty
Okay.
thick tile, you know.
So,
So it
but,
snapped good.
but yeah, we went to cover. So we went to coverings. Isaac kind of experienced that. Um, we came back here. I might be working with. We came across a builder today, and
Mhm.
it was a family member. We were borrowing an extension ladder to put a window in today, and he was showing us. He's a carpenter, so he was showing us the house, and we naturally went towards the tile work. We looked at it, looked at one of the finish houses, and well, there's tile on the wall, and that was about it. And I'm cocky, so I saw the boss man. I could see, you can figure out the boss's truck, which is funny because I had a nicer one. But you know who the boss's truck is, and he comes out. And I'm like, hey, I see you need a tile guy. He was like, I do. I was like, oh yeah. And well, now I gotta quote out a house, and he's got about 10 that are sitting.
Jesus.
These are all at least, think, bare minimum $800,000 houses.
Ready for that?
About to find out.
About to find out.
I'm gonna start importing influencers. No. So, but
Would you like to join our fabulous team? We've been seeing your videos. Well, what's the line that you get hit on every time? At least I get hit on every time. We've been watching your profile, and
oh,
your style
I like
matches
your
with
content.
ours.
Yeah,
We
I
love
like
your
your content.
content, and we would love to send you a glitter
A
box,
paintbrush.
like a paintbrush,
Yeah,
so you
I'd
can
love to send you a
paintbrush your
set of
tiles.
drywall screeds.
And I see. I don't know. This is a personal thing with me, I guess, with my channel, if you will, or my Instagram, is that yes, you want to partner with the businesses that you like, right? Obviously, and but I also didn't want to become a walking billboard. You know, what I mean, you go to my channel, it's just, hey, buy this, hey, buy that. Like I didn't want to be that. Like I wanted you to actually come and see my work, really. So I guess that's why I don't pursue, partnerships like that. Like certain ones I would love, but not all.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard. Like but when you reach like the 20K, not that that matters, but as you start growing in followers, you start getting random emails and offers of all kinds.
See, I'm
I mean,
I'm starting to see that a little bit now, and I don't even have 1,000. And of course, there are
see,
always people. Well, at least for me, there are always people BSing me. They're always trying to sell me something, or not so much give me products, but they're like, "Hey, yeah, we like your content." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "You don't even know what I do you?" I want to see your DM list of all the other people you've sent this exact prompt to.
so I get like I got one recently that was it was a whole shower system, but it was weird. Their shower system is the drain at an angle, no trap, which is kind of odd. Yeah, it was just like a shoe, and you have to use sealer on the outside and the inside. Then you got to clamp this ring to put the pan down. It was just a lot, like a lot of sealer was going into this,
About a tube of
and
caulking. There are tubes.
yeah, no, so you need sausage upon sausage, but it was just a weird system. I looked into it. I was like, maybe if I test it out, because I like to test out new systems. We have our tried and true, but doesn't mean we're not open to testing other things,
Mhm.
But when you see the pamphlet and the amount, like, okay, so I'm going to spend 2 days just setting up the system. No, like you want something that's relatively simple,
Efficient.
doesn't beat your body up,
Yeah.
and you don't have to sell your firstborn to get it. So that was the one thing I saw. But I get that a bunch of clones, kind of odd. Like, we love your content. I think our cologne will mash with yours. Like, what does cologne have to do with tile or bathroom renovation?
Oh, I got a lot for like goth and alternative like jewelry, believe it or not. And I I was like, okay.
Who
Hey
told you
guys,
that?
today's sponsored by I got like 7 rings on one finger. Just
I don't know. It looked like medieval armory, just full of rings.
kiss it.
Pimp slap somebody, knock them out. But yeah, now that's in coverings this year coming up, right? The next year, I should say.
Yeah, back in Orlando.
I'm gonna try my best to go to this one, but this one, the missus might be coming. I don't know.
Okay.
But she'll be just coming for the ride because she has absolutely no interest in tile. She's seen the videos, she's seen the walks, and she's like, what am I going to do in a room with a bunch of tile nerds?
Walk 9 miles and look at the tile section.
And we're going to touch the tile, and then we're going to go try to measure each other's peckers by who can make the smallest cut on a cutter.
Yeah.
Like
so that PowerTech snap cutter, I made the smallest cut in the entire show that while I was there with that cutter. Nobody knows about that cutter. It was really. I got an edited video. It has to be no more or less than 3/8. Like it has to be 3/8, if that.
Oh, Jose holds the record, man.
Yeah. Now Jose's got a shank. All right, that doesn't count.
That thing was a prison shank. That thing was. As soon as he snapped it,
yeah.
As soon as he snapped it, he needed to get a permit for it. Which is, it's funny too. Like, speaking of illegal things, my high capacity shower head is gonna go in soon.
Oh, I was like, are we really gonna have a discussion like this?
Love it.
No. Hi. Hi.
It's time for their bed. Love it. Yes. Imagine having 3 wives.
Oh yeah, they really are just your wife.
Yeah, they're all just different levels. But different the high power shower head, right? Mm-hmm. No, it was it
high capacity shower head.
High capacity shower head, which
now you
is
take
wild.
That flow restrictor out. We need a tax stamp for it.
Then you gotta get
that an ATF form filled out.
It's like the ATF are gonna kick your door.
It's like when you get a suppressor, they got to scan your fingerprints, your palm, both hands, your foot, rectal examination.
Dude, like I can't wait to put this all together because, like, even the owner's like excited for it. But I couldn't believe that New York State actually passed a law limiting shower heads, which makes no sense considering the valves have been already limited.
Yeah.
Federally, I think, what is it, 1.75 is the federal limit. And
I'm a tile guy, not a plumber.
Who thinks of this?
Yeah.
Think about it. That's like if all of a sudden one day you go to the store and you're like, can't get half-inch trowel. They passed legislation saying that's too much thin set. Like,
I told you half inch is too big. No.
But
not the lay flat trowels are at a bit of a lean.
That's horrible. Which I didn't know that Lowe's carried Marshalltown.
It's because you don't go to Lowe's. So when it comes to like big box store trowels, I used to exclusively buy the Marshalltown trowels. And I still kind of do. If I got to run in, I always buy the Marshalltown trowels. I get the nice ones with the rubber handles because they're easy to clean up. That being said, I go through them so quick, so it doesn't matter. But I've managed to keep the Russo, the Switchblade one that Harry gave me. I won in the giveaway. He didn't give it to me, but I won it in the giveaway. I've been managed to keep it clean.
That's another
Proud of
thing too.
myself.
Like, is it weird that I still have the same Frosh kit that I had from last year?
Yeah.
Clean.
Listen, when the job, if it's a $10 trowel over like a $5,000 check, I'm gonna take that. I'll take that $5,000 check. That $10 trowel means nothing to me.
Dude, and so speaking of that, right? You know how I am with the cleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remind myself something right now. Trilite.
Oh, it doesn't come off.
No, the freaking liner.
Oh yeah, yeah. You used to make fun of my liner. Now you know why. I use mainly a Trilite and multi.
Oh no, my liner's clean. It just takes a little bit of extra work to clean it.
Oh no, not when it dries up though.
Oh no, I've let it dry.
We got two different liners then.
Bucket Saver send me the extra sensitive one.
Yeah.
No, it's just even like I noticed it on my mixer. So normally my mixer is always clean, and you dump it in the water and it cleans. Trilite, even in water, it won't. No. So right now I have actually the bucket with like a little bit left over Trilite. Is it Trilite? Yeah, Trilite. And
I had a hard time. You'll see that it's stringy too. You'll see the fibers that are in it.
Yeah, no, I saw that when I was cleaning the trowel, the mixer, and I would put it on there, agitate it on the bucket, and it was like stringy, and it just was not coming off. And that's what Jose was saying. He's like, "Yo, with Trilite, he's like, I go about with a mixer every other week, you know." Mm-hmm. But I also feel that it's like a small step to have an extra wash bucket.
Yeah, but that stuff clumps up. Even if you fresh mix it and you spin it in the wash bucket, and what I'll do is I'll spin it in reverse while it's in full speed, like going and forward. And even then, like it'll always clog up, like right on the interior part of the mixer. I can sit there and spin it for 5 minutes and it's still not coming off.
I don't know. I haven't had that issue, but I guess my cleanliness is different, so I'm OCD with that. It's bad. I blame the guy that taught me plumbing. That's his fault for having cleanliness on a job that is completely the opposite of cleanliness. Like tile is the most dirtiest thing, aside from being like a drain cleaner or a septic installer. That's the dirtiest. If you ever had to clean a septic tank, you would know. It's not for the faint of heart.
Time to mix up a poop smoothie.
That is exactly. That guy. Oh, that guy. What is that called, guy? The pour pump?
Smells like money. Yeah, that's all.
Smells like money. He's got that freaking.
I'm just sitting there like, ugh.
Dude, he's got that. It looks like that motor that you use for the auger to dig holes, but he's got like a mixer at the end.
Yeah, it is an auger.
That's what it is.
The crust buster.
The crust buster. There you go. Yeah. I love watching his videos because it doesn't show a lot, and it's a dirty job, but it pays so well.
It's a shitty job, literally.
But it pays so well. Like, dude, you're talking. So on average in my area, to pump a tank is $550. And that tanker will hold probably maybe 5.
Which is not bad if your septic system is working as intended.
Right.
If it's failed where you got to get it pumped, more than like once a year. Some people I know, they get it pumped like every other month.
If you're getting it pumped every other month,
well, their septic system has failed. Like the leach field is gone. They're essentially just draining the tank each time.
Yeah, because then, I mean, the problem is you got that Carolina clay, so nothing's going to go into that. So in my area, I think we don't have that issue. What we have in our issue is limestone, which is why our water is so damn hard, because we are literally sitting on limestone. Rocks and rocks and rocks of limestone. So it leaches into the water. But no, the septic, I remember I had to fix one septic tank, and it was right by the lid. where you have to put your head inside, waist deep, with
Mm-mm.
hydraulic cement. I had the
Nope.
respirator on with the air pumping to my
I don't
respirator.
give a damn. I got eyes.
So yeah, and like,
Mm.
and I don't know if I should have been scared about this, but when I had my septic checked right before I bought the house, the guy pumped it down, and he's like, "Oh wow, there's a ladder in here." I'm like, "What's a
Oh,
ladder doing inside of a septic tank?"
well, that's good to know. I'll never be testing that ladder.
I'm like,
I'll take
"No,
your I'll take your word for it.
no, it was all broken up. It was a wooden ladder, but I was like, why is
Oh,
there a wooden ladder inside
what
my septic?"
happened here?
Like, I have questions. It's like, I know she passed away, but how did she pass away? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's, but I don't have a septic tank. I have a cesspool, which is different. Do you know how the cesspool works?
Isn't it just basically a fucking reservoir and just wait till things naturally leach out?
Basically, though, it's basically a tank with the bottom open
Yeah.
and like holes on that. If you saw Davis, he actually built one. I thought he was crazy, but I was like, what are you doing inside of a hole that's 10 feet deep with no freaking,
No
support walls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no. And his Nikes, as always. My man out there laying concrete with Nikes and freaking bodega bags. But yeah, he's crazy. And another thing is, I found out that, you know what a bodega is, right?
No.
It's a Spanish deli.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I didn't know that they unionized in New York. They actually have like a union.
Y'all
It's
and
kind
your
of wild.
unions, bro.
It's kind of wild.
I'm pretty sure panhandlers have a union up there.
I wouldn't be
Prostitutes and drug
surprised.
dealers.
The fact that right now,
Actually, unionized drug dealers are just gangs.
so you know how like you have those foam slippers that were really expensive that Yeezy was selling?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that every panhandler I see have those?
I don't know about that.
And
Not
I
around
can't
here,
afford
though.
a pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
They whip out their phone like, yeah, I'll take Cash App. Like, yo, say what?
They flip it around. You can tip inside.
You gotta tip me. That's wild. Yeah, no, New York it's a wild place, dude. They have they have freaking panhandlers. They have Cash App. Yeah, that's New York for you.
No one carries cash. You gotta adapt with the times, bro.
You ain't kidding, bro. Imagine, like, yo, you.
Well,
But
not only do
besides
you have
that,
Cash App, you have a smartphone with Wi-Fi or with data.
and you have to see it, like in Grand Central. These guys are like they're early risers, first of all, right? Because they have to get to the plugs to charge up their iPads and iPhones for the day before they get kicked out. And I'm like, my man pulled out a laptop, a Mac, and he's charging it next to his iPhone. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Like, damn, I'm over here. I should be broke. I'm gonna be homeless.
It's almost like they want you to be broke, right? They want you to be homeless or whatever the case is. Uh but nevertheless, that's where we at right now. And next year
Devastating.
coverings for sure. Hopefully she's able to come. If not, we got to plan this out. We got to do Airbnb, get all the hooligans together.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of enjoyed the hotel a little bit more than the Airbnb was nice, but the hotel that I have, I guess because I got like the nicest hotel there, I felt spoiled, man. It was nice. So
Yeah, but I'm talking like first coverings Airbnb versus that hotel.
yeah. Now I did look at the one in Atlanta. The one in Atlanta the hotel, the Hilton right across the way, sucked. There's not much to it. But I still can't rent an Airbnb, at least by myself unless I'm 25.
Which is such an adjustment
Mm-hmm.
for everybody that knows you. They're like,
You're just getting Airbnb and then just get Airbnb. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
I'm still a youngin'. That's like the 18-year-old
I
are
can't
hanging
even
out with
rent a truck with
21-year-olds.
a hitch, bro.
which I did not
Actually,
know
I
that
can't
was a
even
thing.
get to be 25 to rent a car, don't you? In most places, it's 25,
Is it?
unless it's gone through your insurance.
Hold on. I thought it was 21.
Oh no, I think you're right. I think it is 21, and then it's like 18 to get the like Lowe's and Home Depot and the U-Haul trucks.
Yeah, 18. You can rent a car.
So, but
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know. I like the Airbnb just because it's the freedom. Even after my vacation that I went
you
to
get a
that
kitchen too,
Airbnb, you get a kitchen, they get the freedom.
that hot tub.
Yeah. So all of that good stuff is there, and I think that's going to be the case. But we'll see. If she comes, obviously I have to get an Airbnb for me and her. But if she doesn't, then we get all the hooligans
Airbnb for
together.
me and you. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
me, you, Isaac. Hopefully my installer by then is. Hopefully this guy works out. I'm praying that this guy works out because there's many jobs that I've had to turn
Steve. Oh, Steve is gone.
down. Ooh, bathroom?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. He just
Well, I for some reason if I open that tab up, it's laggy, so I open it and then on and off.
he don't like us.
Yeah. No, you opted in last time, but
Yeah, no. So yeah, no. With hopefully this guy works out because you know I will have to turn down like shower transitions, right? From tub to shower, shower to tub, whatever.
mhm.
It takes me away from the big jobs. So
True.
having a guy that I can throw on these jobs who has the knowledge, like
But it's well, I guess you have the volume of work because it's kind of a double edged sword. Because now, and I'm running to this now, is we got someone full time. Now you got to keep them busy because you promised them work.
yeah,
So
but I guess I don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, but I guess for me that wouldn't be an issue.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You have a good volume of leads coming in.
And I mean, I'm starting to. It's always feast and famine, bro. It's always
Mhm.
feast and famine. You know how we go. Like one day we're like, oh man, I don't know if we're going to be a business. I have to start looking at work, and then all of a sudden it's like I have 50 leads.
Yeah, and it's always when I got work. Like I'm booked out for like a month and a half solid, and I get calls from customers like, "Hey, we just demoed our bathroom. We're looking for a tile guy. Can you start like next week?" I'm like, "No, I can't start
No,
next week on your full job."
yeah,
And he's
no,
like,
and that's why
"Okay."
I guess. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I hope this works out because he's a knowledgeable dude. I've seen his installs. He does use like obviously like Schluter. He knows GoBoard. He prefers GoBoard actually. So not having to teach him how to use GoBoard is huge.
There you go. You don't have
And
to update him
he's
on the new systems.
right. And also he obviously follows me and sees all that I do. And he's like, I know that you're very particular about your installs.
You've already set that expectation.
Right. Like he's like, I know that you're not the kind of guy that like just, board shit up and hope for the best. Like I'll take my time. Speed is not something I prioritize, I guess, because I want it done right. I want to try to optimize whatever I can.
Which is always good to hear from somebody. I mean, because we preach the same thing. So when you get to hear it from somebody, especially you know, when the opportunity of the more you work, the more you make, where technically
Right.
they'd make more by installing faster, but they choose the quality over that, extra days.
Quantity over
Yeah.
quality. Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping that we'll see. I'm gonna try him out on this floor. The whole rapid set thing, I'm like, but people do it, people use it. I'm not gonna judge it. I'm gonna see how it rolls, and if it works out, great. Because I have like 6 jobs lined up right now that I can't get to because I'm gonna be stuck on one. So having him, I'll be like, okay, go here, do this one, go here, do that one.
Hmm.
But it's a trial phase for both of us. He wants to try me out, and he's had bad luck with I guess builders in his area because they common issue, right? The cheapest production level they can get. They're just looking to close up shop. Every house that you build,
Hmm.
cheap, fast. good. They want the whole nut. And he's getting tired of that. He's like, I hate that these guys bring me in. They don't have the material. And he was telling me the same thing that you told me about Isaac, right? That he would have to be the GC.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm the tile installer, but why am I talking designs with this? Like, why am I talking about talking about this wall, this plumbing, this, that? Was like, I'm just a tile guy. So
You're
he's
doing
finding himself
drywall
in,
work, paint work, framing,
right.
all the
He's
different.
like, I'm finding myself doing that. And it's like, I'm not, getting extra for that. It's not his job either way. Because if something goes south,
Yeah,
they're going to
and
turn
they
to
do
you.
that on purpose. And I had to tell Isaac that, and I'm like, dude, it's like if you keep letting him do this to you, that's going to be the expectation. He's like, oh, I can just leave it. He'll get it done because he needs to get that done to get his work done. Or like picking up tile for the contractor. That was when I was like, dude, it's like, don't, like, yes, you have an account with Best Tile. Yes, you can pick up the tile, right? But it's like you shouldn't have to. I mean, if you are, then charge him for it. But at the end of the day, he's like, well, I can't progress and do my job because he can't get the material on site. So it's
which
just
is
like,
which is ironic, right? Like
yeah.
the fact that you need see, and that's kind of shady. Like, I guess
But
there are
now
some
also, I was
builders,
like, what if that tile breaks on the drive over though? Now they're gonna be looking at you.
right? Which is again, that's what the whole setup thing, right? Like
Mhm.
he's being set up for it's a perfect storm for the contractor. So he's like, oh, he picked it up. He picked up the wrong tile is on him. The tile breaks is on him. It's completely off his hands, right? Late on delivery is on him, right?
Mhm.
So that's one thing I told him. I said, don't do that. I'm like, if anybody like if I was working for you as a plumber, and the lady comes out, oh, what do you think of this towel? I said, you would have to talk to the towel guy.
Yeah. And that's why I like where anybody that works with me, if they start asking questions, it's always like, and I tell everybody this. I was like, if they ask you a question, right, that outside of what we've talked about, just tell them I don't know. Talk to Jeremiah, because at the end of the day, it's not your job. I'm not saying you can't talk to the customer and like socialize with the customer, but it's not your job to be the project manager and get stuff on. Go with
Mhm.
this. If there's a design thing that wasn't communicated, you talk with me. I'll get it sorted out. But I'm not gonna send the customer over there like trim out the bathroom and they don't know what trim they want to use.
Right.
So
Which surprises a lot of people that I talk to because I'm like, listen, I don't like to start a project unless we have all the material on site.
mhm,
We've learned that mistake already.
yep.
Um,
Which is
the
why
other
I
thing
don't let
is,
customers provide material. Or if I have, there's been a couple times where I have, but I have to like thoroughly look over everything.
well, that was the other thing too. Like, I would actually go in and spend a day and like, okay, let's make sure that everything matches. Because how many times you open up a box and it's like, huh, this is supposed to be a tub shower. Now it's
Like
a
this is
stand-up
a
shower.
Delta trim with a Moen Posi temp valve.
Exactly. So in because I learned that with the kitchen that we did, the renovation we did on that kitchen, because we started the demo because we got the green light, and then as soon as we finished the demo, we're like, all right, cool. Where's the floor? Oh, it's being delivered in a couple of days. I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, it's this cool bamboo hardwood floor. No sooner as that floor showed up, we went right to the box. What does it say on the box? Must acclimate for 7 days minimum.
Uh,
So that right there was a full week of work gone. And
yeah.
obviously, you can't progress. You can't get the floors down. You can't get the cabinets up. Did a little bit of drywall work, and that was it. Moved on to the next one.
Well, that's kind of like where I'm at now with like inspections. Like we're doing little miscellaneous like minor stuff. We put a window in today. That was the next biggest step, but we're kind of at a standstill until the inspector comes because it's an underfloor inspection, so we can't even like put membrane down on the floor. Like we can't
Mm,
alter the floor until it's done. Because if not, I know as soon as I put like a Duroc or a membrane down, the inspector's gonna be like, "I need to see right here with the plumbing," and he's gonna make me cut a hole out.
So you see this section right here that has no access? I need to go
I
there.
need access.
Like, thanks, dude. But yeah, no, that's the thing with that, man. And Thank God I don't have to deal with that. Like on every single build, I have to get permit for everything.
I don't mind permits. It's just, and I don't have to get a permit for everyone over here. And I don't mind getting a permit. It's the inspection process for some, especially, and I'll call them out on Durham in my area. That is the worst place. Like we have strict inspectors in Wake Forest, which is okay, but their permitting process, their portal, calling in stuff, the inspectors actually communicate with you. I'm like, hey, what time are you going to be there? They're like, okay, well, I have 4 jobs before you. I got to take a lunch. I'll be there anywhere from 3 to 4. Right? That's a window I can work with. You call Durham. They're like, after lunch. I was like, dude, that's like the whole day.
After lunch, maybe, and usually after lunch means
It's
like
like after 1 o'clock.
no 4:45. Like it's the last minute of the day.
Yeah, and then they close up at 5, so they go home, and then I don't know. I'm sitting there on site because someone has to be there to let them in.
Hmm So
So
that's I guess that's the one thing that I'm blessed that I don't have to deal with that. I guess, and I also don't deal with new builds. But that's another topic, right? The builder. Go back to that.
Mhm.
Like I even asked a couple guys, I'm like, how do you get hooked up to builders? Like, how is it to work for a builder? Because essentially now you're a sub.
Mhm.
You know, I've never
and
worked for a
and
builder.
how to affect your pricing too, because it's like I really don't know how to price for a builder. Because obviously, I can't go charge a builder like the same stuff I charge like a full customer for a remodel. At least in most cases, because it's not a custom home builder. He's not a 100 like a production builder. He's a
Mm.
smaller guy. It's his company. He does maybe 20 houses a year, which is relatively. I would say it's small to medium. He's
Yeah,
established, but I
he's
can't
not
just go around and
new,
be like it's $30,000 a bathroom, and then the other one's like 20,000, and you've got 4 bathrooms in this house, right? So
right? That's the other thing too. Like I've tried to like visualize in my head. I'm like, how do you price that? You know, how do you? Because ultimately, the truth of the matter is nobody knows. Somebody tells you they know, bullshit. Nobody knows. We stay in business long enough just to find out what we're worth, and then we charge accordingly. But there is no like bracket per se that like okay A, B, and C, which is what people are used to. Which is our famous "How much would you charge?" question.
a lot
Fuck,
is the
shit.
answer.
And that's like you
How
saw
much would
Kip
you charge? How much would I charge, or how much I can charge? Those are 2 different questions.
like Kip's post that he did about pricing.
Mhm.
I did a comment on there. I said, I wonder how many people paused it at the pricing and took that price and used it to go bid a job.
I was just looking at that. I'm like, are these real numbers? Like, someone's definitely going to be looking at that. Oh,
Right. I mean, I'm
the
guaranteeing you
Instagram.
somebody's
Oh wow!
gonna
Oh no! The bug is back. Instagram closed out.
did it. Oh, the bug is
Yeah,
back. Oh yeah.
that sucks. Uh, well, it is an
So yeah.
hour, and we also have to do
And-
your giveaway.
yes. So how the hell are we gonna do that? Can you upload it?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, you got control.
we'll go ahead and ramble on, and we'll get it sorted out.
You all right? You dying on me?
Yeah, that was a juicy grape.
That was a juicy grape.
Yep. So, I mean, that was. And what's weird? I would have to say for a builder, this is one thing I don't like with like builders and commercial work. Is it seems like you always have to run up the chain of command to talk to somebody that's actually important. Versus, especially the smaller builder that's there. He's walking with the home inspector. I'm bold. I walk straight up. I was like, hey, you need a tile guy. He didn't know he needed a tile guy. He's like, I do. I'm like, yeah, trust me, you need a tile guy. Like, we just looked over all the work. It looks nice from afar, but you need a tile guy. And I don't know if that played a part in that bold statement played a part in me getting a bid with him, because he's like, all right, well, walk in there and give me a price.
You're there like, fuck.
Like, shit, that worked.
Fuck, that
Yeah,
worked.
like, oh shit, you want a number now?
So you're like, I didn't think past this point because I didn't think I was gonna make it this far. So So how much would
That
you
usually
charge? You're
doesn't
like,
work with the homeowner.
but he's like, how much would you charge? You're like,
$150.
I didn't, I didn't get to that part in my brain, so I'm sorry. And I think that happens to a lot of it. Oh, that was back to your question, right? How long should an estimate take? I was thinking about that today. How long should an estimate take?
Yeah, and I got a very diverse. Actually, you know what? We're gonna save this topic for another episode. That's gonna be an episode topic
That's right. How long?
because I've got a very diverse answers on that, and there are multiple reasons for that.
Interesting.
So let's
I guess I
see.
would have to do with the clientele, but
Clientele, and
run.
what do you offer? Are you just a tile installer? Are you a GC? Are you supplying the material? You know what? There's multiple layers to that. Because
Right.
yeah,
Cool.
I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah, don't get too much into it. Even though nobody's watching us, that next episode.
Somebody, we got like Mario and some people that actually watch this. All right, so let's do. How do I share my screen? Present.
Kiss still awake? Damn.
All right. This is what we got here. This is your link.
Giveaway.
Minimum number of mentions. What was it? 2?
2.
Find winners. Oh. VS Contracting.
VS Contracting is the winner. Who is that? Hold on. So let me see something real quick. Hold up.
I'll send you a little snippet of it.
Because there were rules, right?
Oh, yeah. Does he follow you?
Okay, so now VS Contracting.
Tag 2 friends.
It's a private account. No, wait. Sorry. Wrong one. He does follow me.
He did tag 2 people.
Wait, hold up. He's from literally next to me. Monroe, New York.
Come get it.
I'm going to drive this thing to him if he's really close to me.
Anyway, you just said you needed a tile guy.
I did, right? So,
meet me on this job site.
He does follow Bucket Saver. The other one is Buddy Tools. Buddy Tools as well. And the last one is... Come on. Learn how to spell. Okay, he's solid.
See any tile on here? Oh, no, I see tile. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm actually looking at his. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Monroe, New York. Where is Monroe, New York? Is my man a plumber? No. Huge giveaway.
My man is a hustler. Is what it looks like.
Oh, he won the Brick and Bones giveaway. Not Brick and Bones, the Viking pipe fitter giveaway, which is a huge giveaway. Okay, I think he's a Sparky.
Oh, we're specializing in home renovations and HVAC.
What?
It's amazing. Their bio describes what they do. All right, well, I'll send you a little snippet of this. I guess give us some closing statements, Omar, for the giveaway, and close this out.
Oh, it was nice that actually a local winner won. I'm going to look up their address and see how close they are, and I'm probably going to hand deliver this. That'd be cool. Did I specify if the bucket's included? Yeah, the hell, I'll get a bucket too. Why not? But yeah, so what's his name again? VS Contracting is the winner.
I'm going to send you the snippet to post on your story.
Yeah, definitely. Because, this is a good setup. You don't have none of this stuff, but aside from the Brick and Bones, and the liner. Because you don't like scoops and you don't like my mixer. So
I have the Home Depot bucket.
Yeah, because nobody likes
the white bucket.
Oh, you got the limited edition white Home Depot bucket?
I got the bathroom modeling teacher edition.
Steve, you got Steve's bucket.
Edition bucket.
I'd be curious to see what Steve's mixer and scoop look like.
Anyway, well, thank you
But
everybody for watching in. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you got to stay tuned. We're going to do more giveaways like this, and we're going to start hiding little giveaways that you can only enter by watching this YouTube. So we have like one loyal person that watches the whole thing through. They're going to be the only one that gets it. And one day, we're going to do like a really nice one.
well, I have one right now. Actually, I have two.
So
One that's even, I think one's worth over $200 that I'm going to give away. So
we're just going to leave it in there. And it might be a month from now before somebody gets it. But
you don't know. You have to watch the episode all the way to the end. That will give you the clue to win it.
so, all right. Well, thank you guys
Let's
for
go.
joining. We'll come back to episode 40. Y'all have a good
Ooh.
one. Man, rat.